In Hollywood, standing up against woke culture isn't just a risky move, it's a surefire way to spark backlash. Here, we will cover the boldest moments when celebrities publicly clashed with modern social norms, shared their controversial opinions, and faced the storm that followed. From Kanye West's antisemitic comments to J.K. Rowling's heated debate over gender, these are the celebrities who sparked outrage and their critics didn't hold back. These are 10 most anti-woke celebs in Hollywood and their backlash. 1. Kanye West. First up, we've got Kanye West versus social media and corporations. Kanye is easily one of the most controversial figures in entertainment. In October 2022, he crossed the line with a tweet that read, "I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people."
No, let me explain to you. I'm not doubting what you're saying.
You don't care.
I do care.
You don't care about me. You don't care about my people. I care about me. I care about my people. So it's for me to stand up. And God forbid I step on someone's toes while I'm at it.
It's not someone's toes. You stepped on the entire Jewish people's toes with a very deeply inflammatory tweet, which I think you've now accepted. You shouldn't have phrased that way. It's taken a bit of time to get there, but I think you have accepted that, right?
Have you accepted that you've put no effort into understanding how I got there?
I don't think, honestly,
10 years from now,
honestly, I don't think there is any.
You're going to apologize to me about this interview.
I'm not.
You're going to apologize to me about this interview within the next 10 years.
No, I'm not, because here's the thing.
Mark my words.
I don't doubt you've had.
It's very one-sided.
No, it's not.
It's very white-sided.
Oh, come on,
It's very one-sided. It's very like.
It's not white-sided. I'm not doubting you've had business issues. I'm saying the way to respond to that is not to go public to millions of people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Millions of people. Right. Millions of people have had DEFCON 3 on their contracts.
Right. You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
And said, millions of people. Well, I opened it up. Now I didn't, but now I'm saying it now.
Okay. So now what I think you should say, I think you should say to the Jewish people, "I'm sorry for the offensive language I used in that tweet. I wouldn't do that again. This is what I really meant." I think people would respect you if you said that. I don't know why you can't just say that.
You know when I'll say it? When I sit down with the people who write out the contracts for the NBA and for the NFL and for professional music and for acting contracts. We need to go to the top lawyers, the top execs, the owners of the stadiums, the owners of the football teams, and the owners of the record labels. And we're going to put them all in one room. And we're going to read let's go top 10 in each one of these categories, right? Let's read Michael B. Jordan's contract.
Why would any of that? Why would any of that?
Hey, bro, I ain't finished. I ain't finished my sentence.
Nothing you're saying has anything to do with regret.
Hey, boy.
Don't call me boy.
Don't finish. I told you. Oh, don't treat me like a boy then. I'm going to finish my sentence of my idea.
Nothing you're saying has got anything to do with the tweet.
Cool. Bro, I was in the middle of a sentence, boy.
The fallout was immediate. Adidas terminated its partnership with Ye, wiping out a deal worth billions. Balenciaga and Vogue also distanced themselves, and its talent agency, CAA, cut ties completely. Even Skechers denied him an entry when he showed up unannounced at their headquarters trying to pitch a new collaboration. The backlash wasn't limited to business. Social media exploded with hashtags like boycott Kanye, and fans burned his merchandise in protest. Celebrities like Jamie Lee Curtis and Sarah Silverman publicly condemned his remarks, calling them hateful and dangerous. Things escalated further when Ye made even more shocking comments during an Alex Jones interview stating, "I see good things about Hitler."
I see good things about Hitler also.
By the end of 2022, Ye's reputation was in tatters. His fall from grace showed the world the high price of inflammatory rhetoric in an era where every word is amplified. 2. J.K. Rowling versus the Harry Potter fandom. J.K. Rowling, the author who gave the world Harry Potter, became a divisive figure in 2020 when she weighed in on the topic of transgender identities. It all started with a tweet commenting on an article that used the phrase "people who menstruate." Rowling sarcastically wrote, "I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Wumben, Wimpond, Woo Mud? Critics accused her of being transphobic and dismissive of non-binary and transgender individuals. The backlash was swift and brutal. Fans who had grown up idolizing Rowling turned against her, with hashtags like #RipJKRowling trending. Even stars from the Harry Potter films, including Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, distanced themselves from her views. Radcliffe penned an open letter stating transgender women are women, while Watson tweeted her support for trans rights. Rowling responded by doubling down on her views, writing a lengthy essay defending her position and criticizing what she called the erosion of women's rights. This only fanned the flames, with activists calling her arguments harmful and divisive.
Now, J.K. Rowling has said she will never forgive Harry Potter stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson for the way they threw her under the bus to support radical trans activists, responding to a tweet that suggested Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson were safe from Rowling's wrath. The author tweeted, "Not safe, I'm afraid. Celebs who cozied up to a movement intent on eroding women's hard-won rights and who used their platform to cheer on the transitioning of minors can save their apologies for traumatised detransitioners and vulnerable women reliant on single-sex spaces." That's a strong statement, and I've got to say I'm with her 100%, Kinsey.
The controversy reignited in 2023 with the release of Hogwarts Legacy, a video game based on the Wizarding world. While some fans embraced the game, others struggled with whether to support it, knowing Rowling's connection to the franchise. The entire saga showed how a single tweet can spark a cultural battle that lasts for years. 3. Mark Wahlberg. Next, we've got Mark Wahlberg versus his past. Mark Wahlberg's rise to fame hasn't erased the shadows of his troubled past. In the 1980s, long before his Hollywood success, Wahlberg was involved in racially motivated attacks.
And it was not just that he had violated it, but the second time was more violent and was towards a different class of individuals, Vietnamese.
At just 15 years old, he and a group of friends harassed Black school children, pelting them with rocks and yelling slurs. A year later, Wahlberg assaulted 2 Vietnamese men, Tan Lam and Ho Trinh, in separate incidents. During the attacks, he hurled racial slurs and left them blind in one eye. Although Wahlberg served 45 days in prison, critics have long argued that his punishment didn't fit the crime. His attempt in 2014 to have these incidents erased from his criminal records reignited public outrage. Many accused Wahlberg of trying to rewrite history, while others pointed to his philanthropic and public apologies as proof of growth. Social media users remain divided. One camp labels him irredeemable, citing his actions as a reminder of systemic racism. Others argue that his efforts to atone should be acknowledged. Wahlberg himself has admitted, "I'm not proud of the actions of my youth." However, the internet's long memory continues to keep this controversy alive. 4. Joe Rogan versus the medical community. Joe Rogan's The Joe Rogan Experience is one of the most influential podcast hosts in the world, but in 2021, Rogan's comments about COVID-19 vaccines sparked intense backlash. During an episode, Rogan suggested that healthy young people didn't need to get vaccinated, stating, "If you're like 21 years old, I don't think you need to worry about this."
I didn't say I'm not an anti-vax person.
Right.
In fact, I said I believe they're safe, and I encourage many people to take them. My parents were vaccinated. I just said I don't think that if you're a young, healthy person that you need it. Their argument was you need it for other people.
So you don't transmit the virus.
That makes more sense.
So
But that's a different argument.
The medical community was quick to respond. Dr. Anthony Fauci called Rogan's remarks incorrect, emphasizing that young people could still transmit the virus to vulnerable populations. Social media exploded with hashtags like "Cancel Joe Rogan," with critics accusing him of spreading dangerous misinformation. The backlash didn't stop there. Over 200 scientists and medical professionals signed an open letter letter urging Spotify to take action. Despite the pressure, Spotify stood by Rogan, citing their commitment to free speech. Rogan later clarified that he wasn't anti-vaccine, but the damage was done. The controversy showed the influence of public figures in shaping debates over critical health issues. 5. Azealia Banks versus social media bans. Azealia Banks is no stranger to controversy, but her clashes with the LGBTQ+ community and other public figures have tarnished her career. In 2016, she attacked former One Direction member Zayn Malik on Twitter, accusing him of copying her style. She used homophobic slurs, sparking outrage among fans and LGBTQ+ advocates. Twitter suspended her account and festival organizers dropped her from the events. The drama didn't end there. In 2018, Banks feuded with RuPaul, accusing the drag icon of copying her song, The Big Big Beat. The feud escalated when Banks used transphobic language, further alienating the LGBTQ+ fans who had once supported her. Critics have labeled Banks as a promoter of hate speech, while her supporters argue she's misunderstood. Despite her attempts to explain her actions, her social media behavior continues to overshadow her talent, making her a cautionary tale of unfiltered commentary in the digital age. 6. Dana White versus political correctness. Dana White, the brash president of the UFC, has made it clear he has no time for woke culture. In 2021, White dismissed concerns about COVID-19 protocols at UFC events, telling a journalist, "This is America. If you're scared, stay home." His blunt remarks resonated with some fans, but drew criticism from others who felt he was downplaying public health risks.
Like this. And then once I started hearing shit about laying off, 30-something% of my staff, I'm like, I'm not laying off one of my people. It's not happening. So, listen, we're either all going to go down together and try to figure this thing out, or we're not. Right? Yeah. What I'm not going to do is hide in my house from a virus. Right. That's not going to happen.
White's also clashed with mainstream media, accusing outlets of ESPN of bias and sensationalism. "These people are so fake, it's ridiculous," he once said during a press conference. While his approach has earned him loyal supporters, it's also fueled accusations that he fosters a culture of exclusion within the UFC. White remains unapologetic, framing his stance as a rejection of political correctness. Love him or hate him, he's one of the most outspoken figures in sports. 7. Elon Musk versus Twitter policies. When Elon Musk bought Twitter in 2022, he promised to transform the platform into a haven for free speech. He criticized what he called woke censorship and reinstated previously banned accounts, including those suspended for spreading hate speech and misinformation.
Let's talk a bit about your tweets, because it comes up a lot. Even today, it came up in anticipation of this. I mean, you do some tweets that seem to be, or at least give support to some who would call others conspiracy theories.
Well, yes, but I mean, honestly, some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
Well, like the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a pretty big deal. There was Twitter and others engaged in active suppression of information that was relevant to the public. That's a terrible thing that happened.
He shares so much of it. Or there are advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, "You got to stop, man," or "I can't get these ads because of some of the things you tweet."
I'm reminded of the scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great movie.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, "Offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care."
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
So how do you run the company with only 20% of the staff?
It turns out you don't need that many people to run Twitter.
But 80%? That's a lot.
Yes. I mean, if you're not trying to run some sort of glorified activist organization and you're not care that much about censorship, then you can really let go of a lot of people, it turns out.
The backlash was swift. Critics accused Musk of enabling harmful voices, while hashtags like boycott Tesla trended. Advertisers pulled their campaigns, and organizations like the Anti-Defamation League voiced concerns about rising hate speech on the platform. True to form, Musk responded with memes and mockery, showing little concern for the criticism. His actions showed the divide between free speech advocates and those who prioritize accountability on social platforms. 8. Carlos Santana versus gender identity critics. In August 2023, Carlos Santana sparked outrage with his comments on gender identity during a concert. Santana said, "When God made you and me, you know what you are. You grow out of it, but it doesn't make it right." Videos of his speech went viral, with critics calling his remarks dismissive of transgender identities.
A woman is a woman and a man is a man. Yeah. Whatever you want to do in the closet, that's your business. So I'm okay with that.
Santana later apologized, saying his words didn't reflect his true intentions. However, the damage was done. The incident sparked debates about generational divides and the responsibility of artists to adapt to changing social norms. 9. Alice Cooper versus gender affirmation debates. Alice Cooper entered the fray in 2023 by criticizing gender-affirming care for minors, calling it a fad. His remarks drew sharp criticism from LGBTQ+ advocates who argued he was dismissing the struggles of transgender individuals.
Rock legend Alice Cooper is facing fierce backlash after branding transgenderism as a fad. The comment was made during a recent interview where he pushed back against woke ideology and gender-affirming care for minors. And as a result, he is out of a deal. Vampire Cosmetics has decided to cut ties with the rocker now and issued a statement to the LGBTQ community. He now joins other music legends, including guitarist Carlos Santana, who previously came under fire for remarks.
Social media was split, with some praising Cooper for speaking his mind and others accusing him of punching down on vulnerable groups. A cosmetic company even ended its collaboration with him. Despite the backlash, Cooper remained firm, insisting his comments were about protecting children. 10. Ricky Gervais versus Hollywood hypocrisy. Ricky Gervais' hosting of the 2020 Golden Globes was nothing short of explosive. He mocked Hollywood elites for their moral grandstanding, saying, "You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world."
I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello? Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is.
The audience's reactions range from laughter to visible discomfort, with stars like Tom Hanks caught grimacing on camera. Social media lit up, supporters hailing Gervais as a truth teller and critics accusing him of being unnecessarily harsh. Gervais, unbothered, tweeted, "You're offended? Good."
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff like science and politics, so trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
There you have it, the 10 most anti-woke celebrities in Hollywood and the controversies they sparked. Whether they're appalled or criticized, one thing's clear. These stars aren't afraid to speak their minds. For more explosive Hollywood drama, subscribe and click on our next video.